So what it meant for us was Matt sold Charming Walk for $100 a month for 6 months, and he gave me the check for $140. If you do the math on that, you can see that he heavily discounted to get the sale. And so I quit the next day. No investment, $0 in the bank, went for it. So the first key of bootstrapping is quit your job, because it's just a hobby until you quit. And the difference between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful entrepreneurs is at least 51% the successful ones quit their jobs.
When I talk to entrepreneurs and they say, hey, I have this great idea, what's the first thing I should do? I say, find a partner. Like, find someone you absolutely trust and respect, and then just go for it. Because 6 months or 2 years in, you two will always be fundamentally aligned. And if you trust your partner and you respect your partner, then the compromise you're going to come up with is typically better than either position the two of you had. And that's been the case multiple times with us. And so we definitely wouldn't be sitting up here without the other, and without the combined, where the two visions come together into something that's greater than the sum of the parts.
The talent in Chicago that we're hiring is there's marketing and product talent in all the CPG companies, and there's great engineering talent in the hedge funds and in the bank companies, so you get this great marketing and engineering talent, which it's no harder to hire an engineer in Chicago than it is to hire an engineer in Palo Alto, but it's much easier to keep an engineer in Chicago than it is in Palo Alto. So we've had 3 people quit our company in the last 6 years. Yep. So we're doing something right, but some of it's the environment that we're in as well. There's one thing that Chicago does well. It's taken in the most positive light. It's the relationships that can occur between people, because it's generally a friendly group of people in the city. And if you have 2 people who have expertise and they can share something with each other, that can just happen naturally. And maybe that turns into golf or a poker game or some sort of social activity or something like that. But it sort of is playing to the strengths of what Chicago is. And taken in its worst light, that looks like an old boys club. But done well and being inclusive and diverse it can be a great thing. It can be playing to our strengths.
And when you say what's happened over the last 5 years that's made a difference, it's Groupon. Groupon's done it's done us a huge service in terms of training people, but also in terms of showing people the value of equity compensation. So when we started, we were giving away stock options, and people didn't give a shit. That sounds weird, but they didn't, because people were coming from more corporate environments where you didn't have exposure to stock compensation. And so it was all about the cash, and it was all about the vacation. And we said, no, we want you to be incentivized with the long term. We want you to be motivated by making really smart long-term decisions for this company. And even now, every employee, including customer service reps and sales reps, all have equity compensation in GrubHub, because that's been something we fundamentally believe in. And now with all the excitement about the Groupon IPO, people are starting to look at their equity comp and saying, wait a minute, I get what this means now. And that's exciting, because now that's really the secret weapon that the entrepreneur has when you're trying to pull incredible talent out of the banks and out of the major corporations of the city. And Chicago's got ridiculously intelligent talent. They're just kind of locked up in their day-to-day grind. And tapping into that talent pool is going to make or break the next Chicago startup.